Open it so we can start. I heard that phrase before it all began. We are on the new Earth in exactly the same timeline as you. What has happened? You won't believe it, but let's start at the beginning so that you can understand. Oh, Matasat, greetings to you, Highlight. Welcome to my channel for awakened souls and light workers. Welcome to the Golden Age and the New Earth. You don't see any signs on the outside yet? Then you've come to the right place, because I am already living on the New Earth, and I'm going to share my adventures with you. Today, I'm going to show you completely new worlds that you didn't know existed on Earth. If you are new to us, please let me briefly explain who I am and what I do, otherwise you wouldn't know what's going to happen to you today. My name is Bella Isis Mitchell. I am an alien in a human body who left her home in the Pleiades to complete a mission on Earth as a crew member of a Pleiadian lightship. My missions are varied and my consciousness is heightened. I've regained galactic and cosmic knowledge, but also developed psychic or even superpowers. You can learn all this too, because as an alien I don't live an ordinary life here, but one on a covered mission. On the one hand, I live a life in 3D and have to work to pay my bills, just like you. On the other hand, I live in 5D or even higher. As an alien on Earth, I even live with aliens or receive visits from them. Oh, sorry, of course. I should also mention the dwarves. There is one in the room with me right now, touching my feet and smiling at me kindly. The dwarf doesn't want to sit on my lap today because he says the reptilians will be here soon, and I should hurry up with the introductions. Okay, fine. Thank you, Balder. Anyway, I already live on the new Earth with and among galactic or magical beings, but also a coming and going from the angelic world is normal, but not a matter of course. Mindfulness and a high level of respect for all creatures that come and go through my life is very, very important. Before we begin our adventure, I would like to tell you a little about myself. Since one of my missions is to inform people, I'm pleased to act as a mediator. However, enlightening humanity is more about experiencing what it is like to live with and among galactic beings. And I'm allowed to share these experiences with you in a wonderful series of books. As if these magical views weren't enough, my extraterrestrial abilities embed magical events into the books, which then unfold around you. So, if you've ever wanted books to come alive and interact with you, then you have come to the right place. I've included the relevant information in the video credits. This enchanting series of books will awaken your own clairvoyant, clairaudient and clairsentient gifts and reveal your own potential. There's also a second series of books that will be expanded upon. This will focus even more on yourself and what you can bring out of yourself as a light worker. But enough about my books for now. I have strong cosmic protection to carry out my missions on Earth, otherwise I would no longer be with you. I am accompanied by a powerful reptilian, and that's our keyword. But now I can tell you what connects me and the reptilians. Well, first of all, they are indeed very good friends whom I know as a Pleiadian. Many of the reptilians also like to visit me in the Pleiades, or I visit them on their planets, depending on where they are from. But we also meet on other stars. It doesn't matter, all possibilities are open. As a mediator for the inhabitants of the Earth, I am able to transform the fears of the reptilians into benevolence, understanding and friendship, even charity, and I have already been able to overcome many fears and the human collective together with you, the readers and listeners. Your understanding of the lizard-like species is already bearing tiny fruits, my dears. Yay! Therefore, I'm going to embed relevant contributions in the video description. so that your understanding of the grays, for example, can change from suspicion or fear to understanding. Your understanding of misunderstood species will, among other things, further our ascension and increase the chances of so much healing within the collective until the day of the revelation of the alien species come closer and closer. The reptilians are so dear to my heart. I love them so much, that I even fell in love with one of them, and he fell in love with me. By the way, you can read this wonderful love story in the book series, and a lot of personal experiences are revealed. So, you can read a story based on true events in which a romance between a human woman of extraterrestrial origin and a beautiful reptilian with amber eyes gradually develops into a powerful and extremely exciting story. He's my angel. There are no other words. He's my angel. And since Christmas Day, we are officially a couple. We were united as husband and wife on his planet in an ancient sacred tradition. I'm allowed to share this experience, although a sacred ritual was performed. This experience will probably be published in the 8th book. 5 books are now available in English. When my beloved, my reptilian angel came to visit, I heard telepathically from the reptilian world that there was a sensation. I was allowed to talk to a reptilian who had changed sides and turned from a bad boy to a good guy. Wow, how cool is that? But this information from the reptilian world was some time ago, and it was only today that I managed to arrange a meeting with him. Whew, the energy is slowly shifting. I am in my living room, and I've offered the new guest food and drink and arranged them on my table to welcome him warmly. It's normal for me to sit at a table with reptilians or to chat and joke with them. Yes, welcome to the new world. It's already here. I just baked some potato slices and made some dips to serve with them. Oh, but I don't know what he eats. My companions, the peace-loving reptilians, are meat eaters, but there are also vegetarians among them. In my books I often talk about eating habits of extraterrestrial species. I wonder what he's going to eat. What's his name? What does he look like? What has he been doing on Earth? Oh my God, I'm so excited. I wonder if he drinks tea like Aurelius, my beloved. To begin our adventure, I would like to go back to the beginning of this exciting contribution by channeling a phrase from a reptilian who will soon interact with us and reveal a whole new perspective. I looked at the clock earlier and it symbolized 1818. There are so many signs around us. It's been happening to me a lot lately. I see 1616, 2020. Beings from other spheres, but also angels, certainly communicate with the human world in this way, when we can't yet understand them on other levels. The reptilians revealed to me why 1818 is so interesting. They showed me that the content of 18 is very important, but also the 9, which sometimes symbolizes closure. If you add up the digits of 18, you get 9. When they showed me 1818, the 9 was reflected here again. In fact, it was reflected twice in its essence. If you add the 2 9s together again, you get 18. Fabulous and magical. So, if you see the number 18 a little more often in the near future, it can be seen as a loving mediation between worlds. The reptilians are reminding you of themselves. And through your positive association and positive acceptance of communication with this species, healing can be facilitated on all levels. You can therefore receive the number 18 for a period of time as you can feel it. It symbolizes an extraterrestrial greeting from the reptilians. The sum of the numbers, the essence of the nine, in this case increasingly symbolizes the end of our shyness towards misunderstood species. You can take on new perspectives, Anasha. Why are the reptilians now allowing you to perceive the number 18 more often in the outside world? They know that active communication with other extraterrestrial species is not yet possible for most listeners. So, in a positive and peace-loving mission, they allow themselves to facilitate an extraterrestrial greeting through the number 18. The reason for this is that you may be happy to suddenly be greeted by extraterrestrials in your daily life. Whether it's on license plates, electronic watches, mobile phones, ovens, computers, or bills. Your intuition will tell you when this is a greeting from peaceful aliens. Through your joy in communicating, healing can occur within the collective, and we can draw back the power of the negatively vibrating extraterrestrials who guide and control us from the background. I feel an increased protection now, as this communication is not without danger. I will explain the reason in a moment. Today you can take part in an exciting conversation and receive background, or rather underground information. Open it, so we can begin. This phrase was addressed to me personally, and you heard it at the very beginning of the post. It was a request from the new Reptilian to open my Mac, so that I could work with him on the recording. I don't know this man yet, but he will be brought to me shortly to introduce himself. He will be sitting with me in the living room. I feel the protection of my teacher and mentor, the protection of the powerful Reptilian, but he has summoned several squads to watch over us because the visit and the interaction is not entirely safe. And so it turns out that there are a few more reptilians in my house. I'm used to them coming and going. You can hear what they look like and what they do in other reptilian posts. I will embed them in the video description so you can find them easily. Looking straight ahead, I see two male reptilians dressed, as I know this species to be, in cool biker clothing. They love this style. The two men are joking and laughing on my couch. I see them across from me and can watch them. My teacher is right next to me in supervisory position. And so, the interview begins. I offer the newcomer the chair next to me and wait until I can see him actively. He's dressed differently from my friends, but in the way we humans dress. The reptilian wears what looks like dark jeans and a grey t-shirt, which on the one hand is completely loose and on the other hand shows off his athletic upper body. The reptilian is looking very handsome. He has a much longer snout than my companions, and his face has more dinosaur or iguana features. His appearance is serious. But since he's with my friends, I trust that all is well. That is it. Dear humans, I am Domia. My planet is unknown to you, as is my race. You only know of our species through conspiracy theories on your spheres. Ask your questions, Belle. I feel your benevolent vibration, Domia. I was deceived by your serious appearance. Since I've already heard that you have switched sides, I'm very cautious. I have already seen and know what extremely abilities you reptilians are capable of. Belle, thank you for allowing me to put my hand on your face. You can feel that I'm touching your communication center, which you so urgently need when speaking to other creatures. If I touch you directly, it's possible that you will be able to understand me even better. You already know that holistic understanding is necessary when communicating with other species, including feeling their vibratory frequency. I see your questions. Please ask them for the human world. No, we are not talking about Area 51. We have already cleared that up. You know that. Your curiosity is very broad. I know that. I have been prepared for this meeting, but I also know you from the other side. You are on the list, you know that. Have there been any attempts from their side to attack me? I'm mainly talking about the actions and missions I'm supposed to carry out for the benevolent reptilians here. I stand up for species that are misunderstood by humans. Oh, they know that. They know, believe me. And they don't like that. But your protection is immense. You remember the day you had a patrol of dragons and reptilians as you drove to the bank? You remember the enormous presence. It would have been an accident planned by the other side. It happens all the time, even with politicians. You dismiss it as an accident, but the connections are groundbreaking. Many of your conspiracy theories are based on such incidents. Many are no accidents. Domia, how free are you to speak? How is your protection? The reptilian sits casually beside me. His arms are crossed in front of his chest and he has one foot crossed loosely over the other. Now he opens his arms and let them hang loosely at his sides. The reptilian is basically behaving like a human being, except that he looks different. I am now under the protection of peace-loving reptilians, and I see that you have already formulated more questions to give structure to our conversation. Structure is important to you, I can read you, but I respect that I should still keep my distance and give you time to get to know me before I tell you that I already know you, but you don't know me. I see all that in you and you know it. Mia, how does your story begin? Now that you know that I like to have a structured approach, please tell us your life story from the beginning. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? And just as importantly, what did you do before? How did you end up changing sides? Okay, I will try to answer all your questions. You can already feel my touch on your temple again. If anyone in the audience wishes, I will allow them to feel a touch on their temples as well. I understand that it takes a great deal of trust for you to be touched by a being that only a few months ago changed sides. But from the way I speak, you will see I'm no barbarian. Belle was very surprised by my expressiveness. I saw it in her. She expected the manners of a rehabilitated convict, and that's what I saw in her. You can also ask to feel pressure and a touch on the temple. First of all, it's about active communication between other star people in your human race. That's what Belle stands for. She's known intergalactically. Furthermore, her contributions come from your ascended sphere. Stop, Domia, stop. I have noticed your hesitation. Why didn't you want to say the word New World? You know, I have equally strong telepathic powers within me, so I sensed what you just sent out. I'm losing many of my friends and parts of my family because of the New World. Even though we come from a less than peaceful planet, the word New World needs to heal within me. Many of my friends will die, many will be chased from their homes. But it must be this way. It is what it is. That's why I hesitated. And to answer your next question, no, I have no contact with them. I'm an outcast. Not everyone who changes their perspective to the positive is an outcast. But that's what I am. I'm a traitor in the eyes of the others. If I were to return, I would be eliminated, killed. And I could only hope that it would happen quickly. Oh, Domia, I'm so sorry. I didn't sense that you associated grief or sadness with the New World. You have hidden it very well. How do you feel about expressing your feelings now? Now that you've told us your story, would you also tell us what the emotional world is like on your planes? Yes, I would be pleased to do so. I can basically work that question into my story. You already know that Alpha Draconis is home to a warlike species of reptilians. Beings from that planet are still being summoned to your planet. They are the worst kind, believe me. Manipulative, domineering. They thrive on oppressing others. Their cruelty knows no bounds. Their planet is warlike. And they are constantly looking for ways to domesticate and oppress other planets. Are you from there? No, I'm from another planet unknown to you. It doesn't matter. We have basically the same conditions as you on Earth. Our planet is also in the process of ascension, for we too have been given the opportunity to ascend. Our collective has chosen to ascend, but the conditions on our planet are very difficult. We are in a phase similar to what you experienced on Earth. Back then, you had to go through segregation and sorting when it came to mandatory vaccinations. For us, it's not about vaccinations, but we are manipulated differently. Nor is the situation comparable to yours, for we still have other powers within us. You would compare it to superpowers. Although we live on the third level of consciousness, we have high telepathic abilities and are also ahead of Earth in terms of technology. It would be very interesting for you to learn more about this. Is your race a space-traveling species? Is your consciousness so heightened that you recognize other alien civilizations? Or do you also live in the delusion that you are the only ones in the cosmos? No. We are aware of the existence of other star civilizations because, as I said, we are also partly in contact with Alpha Draconis. But we are experiencing something like a witch hunt, as the ascension process on our planet is being treated as a conspiracy theory. So I have lost everything by turning to the light, at the same time gaining everything, just like you, dear Belle. We are very similar and yet we're different. To answer your question, I wasn't just cruel by nature. I suppose there was a certain potential for aggression, because without it, there was no way to survive. You had to figure out how to survive when things weren't peaceful. I was often angry, furious and sad, just like you humans. And yet there are lights among you that are rising. I'm grateful to be given a chance to be heard. You too may have committed atrocities in past lives. I do not judge or condemn you. A non-judgmental and non-evaluative perspective is necessary for the ascension process. At home, it was much the same as it is for you humans. You didn't always express the light in your choice of words. Think how often you cursed or swore. But I don't judge you either. I express the wish that my appearance may also be accepted neutrally. You are wondering how I got to Earth, dear Belle. Well, I was stationed on Earth, but for the other side. My past is one of aggression, discontent and violence. Not always, but often. We also met after work in a normal way, just like you humans. We also used to see each other. I will never see them again. That's okay. It has to be that way. Healing is allowed to happen. So I was stationed on Earth. I had a rather harmless office job in the underground system, but unfortunately I saw enough. I wasn't in the tunnel systems, but I saw what was going on. I also know about the light troops who have been carrying out several cleansing. You've driven many away, but unfortunately your resonance with world events give the other side a boost. Unfortunately, but that's the way it is. Okay, so your species is also experiencing its ascension? Do you have the same protection from the cosmos as we do? Yes, our conditions are similar and yet different, but all the ascension processes on these planets are connected. One complements the other. Achievements on Earth have an impact on our species as well as on yours. Therefore, it is necessary that we all focus on the light. On my home planet, the light workers have to flee and hide underground because of persecution. As I said, our circumstances are different from yours. Belle, you can't help it. I see it in you. Domir smiles. He already knows that such things always inspire me to send prayers, positive expressions and wishes to oppressed individuals, and I would like to do that with you later, Domir. You know the circumstances better than I do. Would you agree to us joining our lights, so that the lightworkers in your sphere can also support each other with ours? Is it alright if we say a prayer for your lightworkers? And ultimately all positive wishes return to the sender. So we also have a positive effect on other lightworkers from other spheres and on ourselves. Yes, that's fine. That's very kind of you. We will say a prayer together to support my fellow lightworkers in their ascension. No, I don't know any lightworkers on my sphere. My past was rather rough, you know. Do you have a girlfriend, Domir? Or did you have one? How did you treat her? I didn't have a steady girlfriend, but I wouldn't have been averse to one. Perhaps the love of a woman would have set me on the right path earlier. To answer your question, I have occasionally had a woman or one-night stands. It is common on your planet too. Oh, thank you for your openness. Domir, how did you finally change sides? Since I've been observing a lot of things, even though I only had a relatively boring office job on Earth, I have also heard about the light troops. I have telepathic abilities, and that is how I found out about the light. Did you have to be careful? Were you being observed or watched? Nothing less or more than you, Belle. Nothing less or more. Please let these words settle in. You humans really have no idea how closely you are being monitored. All of you. You have, thank God, no idea. What about camouflage and deception? Why did you put those words in the headline? To warn people. They are being blinded and distracted by camouflage and deception, so that even more manipulation can take place in your ascension process. If a negative alien were to stand in front of you, you would hardly be able to withstand their manipulation skills. It is therefore necessary that Belle be well protected. To be honest, she wouldn't stand a chance on her own. They know of her mission to speak up for the Reptilians. They despise her efforts to allay human fears of Reptilians. Belle, we both felt it. You are protected, but they know what you are up to. And I am on the list now, just like you. Not as high, but I am on the list as well, my dear. Don't be intimidated. Inform the humans. Show them that there are new ways. And I will do it my way. I will then concentrate on serving as a lightworker for my planet. Will you go home and hide underground with some other lightworkers? Or will you stay in our sphere and work for your planet from here? That is a good question. I think about it a lot. Leaving your planet isn't entirely safe, but neither is entering my sphere. My situation is not easy. I'm a tramp and an outlaw, if you will. But how do you live or survive, Domir? I have to work, otherwise I can't pay the bills. How do you live? What do you eat? At the moment I'm homeless and without anything. I've chosen the hard road that awaited you until recently. You were prevented. I've actually lost everything. I have nothing on your planet. If I were to return to my shelter, I would be eliminated, you understand? I'm in the hands of an extraterrestrial relief organization where I can sleep, so I don't have to stay on the streets. That would be too dangerous. They would ambush me and kill me. I have some inside knowledge, you see, and traitors are never well received on any planet. Domir, you're very charismatic. Thank God you have found your shining potential. So you ended up in a relief organization for stranded aliens? Oh wow, that's really fascinating. And you get food there? Yes. And what do you eat? Domian lifts the area above his eye, where our eyebrow would be. You can't see it, so I tell you. I eat meat. Stop, before you judge or condemn me. Listen to a certain contribution that's already on this channel. It's called My Beloved Peaceful Reptilians. Listen to it and you will understand how it works. There are some peace-loving star races who eat meat, but it's not as barbaric as it is on Earth. Sadly, it's the same on my planet as it is on yours, but our animal husbandry laws and animal welfare are much more advanced than ours. But I eat a variety of things. I see you're interested in the myth of whether aliens really like chocolate or coffee. Well, the one's yes, the other no. I don't need chocolate, it's not my interest. And now I'm distancing myself from such things anyway. You know yourself, dear Belle, that proper nutrition is important for ascension. You write about it in the first book. You know my books? Yes. And why did you want to read it? We, my former companions, know that you write books, but they don't touch them. The books are so powerful that they would never dare to live through them. You also have incantations and vivid adventures in your book series. What do you think would happen if an angel appeared next to a warlike reptilian? The vibration is so new world that they don't want to touch it. But it bothers them that you share such sensitive insider information. They know that, but they can't do anything about it. You have great protection to write these books. You have no idea, dear Belle. I have read your books and taken your tips to heart, eating a healthier and more balanced diet, so that my body can tolerate higher vibrations. I have experienced your vivid adventures in the books, just like your earthly listeners or readers. But the real reason I wanted to read the books was my curiosity as to what it would be like for a reptilian to be with a human woman. You and Aurelius lived together as a couple, and now you are his wife. I wanted to know what his and your views were, so I read your books in a very short time. Thanks, Domia. It's really cool that even space people read my stories. It's really motivating, thank you. Belle, I haven't been awakened as long as you. My own story began only a few months ago. I have changed from aggression to patience and compassion, from hate to love, from violence to gentleness. I'm grateful to have chosen this path, and I'm grateful that we are now walking alongside each other. You are the first lightworker I have come into contact with, but I will be connecting with my fellow lightworkers here. It is time to take new path, as you are walking new path. You too, dear listeners. I will connect with the lightworkers on my planet, but I'm still undecided whether to leave or to stay. I am a stray, an outlaw, a planetless one to be exact. My most important step has been to realize that darkness, manipulation, camouflage and deception have no future. They are already past, you see, Belle. My future and my present is light and joy. I look forward to experiencing harmony and peace. I'm truly very happy. As you can see, our conversation is almost over. However, we will honor your request for a prayer for the lightworkers on my planet. Our light fields connections strengthen and complement each other. We are all connected anyway. All is one. I would be very grateful if those of you are listening would share our benevolent intention and join us in the prayer. My love is with you, dear ones. Let us begin. My positive intention and open prayer is directed to the infinite vastness of the cosmos. I call upon the luminous powers and ask them to give strength, courage, endurance and steadfastness to all light workers, wherever they may come from. I ask that the source recognize the positive intentions of all light workers on all planets, and that the creatures be given the necessary protection to be effective in their luminous actions. We ask for divine support in all peace projects, and we ask that the higher powers recognize our actions and our positive intentions. We ask for further support from the celestial powers, and for even more help to flow in for our planet and its ascension process. We ask for the protection of the reptilian lightworkers who are being persecuted and humiliated. We also ask for the protection of the earth lightworkers. We ask for support from the celestial sphere. We ask and pray for help in raising our planetary vibration, and that it becomes increasingly easier for the lightworkers to work externally. We ask that the source supports all our actions with even more all-encompassing energy of peace and channels it into our spheres. Dark structures are being transformed into light. There is no other way. The light will find its way. So it shall be, so it shall be, so it shall be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dear Domia, it has been an honor and a pleasure to have you with me. My home is always open to you, and it's also a pleasure for me when we can exchange ideas on lightworker topics. It's very, very interesting to have an awakened reptilian with me. I'm very fascinated. Thank you for your visit. Oh, are you going to say goodbye? Did you take anything earlier when I was preparing the potatoes and sauces? I even prepared a napkin with mandalas for you.
Yes, thank you. I saw everything. I didn't eat your dips because I can't handle the spices. My system would have reacted. I can't handle them, but I tried some of the potatoes. Thank you for that. As for your question about tea, my species is not familiar with that beverage. We have other drinks that you are not familiar with. The tea was a little too sour for me, but I know that Aurelius enjoys drinking tea with you.
Are you friends with Aurelius?
I only got to know him when I was brought to you, and before that I read your books, and because your books are alive, he suddenly stood next to me. Yes, that's how it was. So I only knew Aurelius to the extent that you share with the outside world through your series of books, but it was cool when he was called to me during the reading. I perceive the whole thing as even more extreme since I have different abilities than you humans. Yes, basically that is it. But I'm sure if I contacted him, he would talk to me. It was your mentor and several of his sons who brought me from the shelter to you. Thanks also to your protectors. Thanks for giving me the same protection so that I can speak freely here. Thank you all. And most of all, I thank the people who followed my words to the end and allowed themselves to see things from a new perspective. It has been really cool with you. I will now say goodbye, dear Belle. It's time to return home, or rather to the shelter that is currently my loving home. You would be amazed at the creatures and wonderful beings that have stranded there. You will meet some truly strange and lovely star people. Dear humans, the new world is already here. Thank you for walking this path together. Greetings, Domia.